Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg, everybody. We are in the guest segment of the show, and today we're joined by a special guest. It is Chief Chad Brecklin from the Fitchburg Police Department.
Preston, how are you doing today?
I'm fabulous. Thanks for asking. No one's
You're
ever
welcome.
asked me that before I've asked them, so.
It should only be fair.
You got it.
You know.
Wow. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
And first and, most important question, do you feel welcomed?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, that's good.
Maybe even more welcome than when Jeremy hosts the show.
Wow. He'll have something to say about that, I'm sure. Always a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you.
Taking some time out of your busy day. And today, we have a whole bunch of stuff to get to. So let's just jump right into some of the most recent news. Obviously, here in Fitchburg, there was a recent homicide, followed up with an investigation from you guys, and we just want to get a little bit of an update on kind of what's going on with that.
Yeah, so I believe it was last Monday, there was a homicide on the 12th over in the 5100 block of Anton Drive involving a gunshot victim. He was a 20-year-old male from Fort Atkinson who was shot and killed, and we were through some hard work, long hours, dedicated investigative team, and following up on leads and getting some breaks along the way. We're able to ultimately take 3 people into custody on Wednesday, a couple of days after the homicide, and those 3 have been charged now, to my understanding, with their role in the particular crime. They were 17, 18, and 19-year-old males from the Madison area, and it's a tragic situation by all means, and at least by making some arrests and getting people into the criminal justice system, it may at least give a bit of solace for the family in the situation, victim's family.
Yeah, and of course, kudos to you guys in the department. Quick work. So, I mean, all around, really good job by everybody involved.
I mean, every time a critical incident like this happens, it's always amazing to see our public safety and police department employees in particular. They come up, they step up, and they're willing to put in a lot of long hours and hard work to follow up on leads. It's the least we can do in these situations, 1, from the perspective of the victim and the victim's families, and 2, from the community perspective. You know, the community obviously has their safety and sanctity shaken.
Right.
When things like that happen, and when they happen in your neighborhood, you really would like to bring some closure to that as quickly as possible. And we try to be cognizant of that and put all the resources and time into things like that we possibly can.
Yeah, well, it was great work, and well, thanks for the update on that.
Yeah.
Switching gears here, seasons change, and time goes on, doesn't it? Yeah,
it does.
And spring is here, so just real quickly, do you want to touch on kind of people need to be a little bit more aware, maybe?
Yeah, we can talk about a few things with spring, right? Bicyclists, pedestrians, dog walkers, those sorts of things, and construction season is going to start as well. So obviously we want people to be aware when they're out as motorists, for bicyclists, for pedestrians, for anybody using our roadways and sidewalks, and then also be aware for road construction, particularly in the Verona Road corridor. There's going to be a lot of construction over there this year again, and I understand there's going to be some lane closures periodically, a lot of them happening overnight, but there could be some during the daytime. So we need people, regardless of where you are at, whether you're in a construction zone or not, please be attentive to the road ahead of you. Please don't allow your cell phone or other in-car electronics these days to distract you, and be aware. And also for those that are on bicyclists or on bicycles or walking, please also be aware. If you're a bicyclist, please follow the rules of the road as well. Much like we would expect out of the motorists. It's always helpful when all parties involved, so to speak, from a roadway user standpoint, are each and every one of them is being responsible and aware and courteous of the others.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's you think common sense, but I think it's always good. Good reminder, you know, keep your mind, keep your wits about you, you know, eliminate the distractions.
Yep.
Always a good reminder.
It's hard these days. I mean, there's
is.
so much stuff crammed into cars from an electronic standpoint, and then we all tend to walk around with a small handheld computer.
Second nature at this point, right?
That is constantly buzzing and beeping. So,
right. Well, speaking, you set me up for a beautiful segue here. Speaking of just having gadgets and tech with us at all times, just want to get a quick update from you on where we're at with the body cams from your department's
Sure.
perspective.
So we continue to do our pilot project with a group of 7 or 8 officers in the police department who have been issued their body cameras and have been deploying them in the field. The pilot project overall is going well, although we have come up with a technical issue that has temporarily halted our full rollout, which we had hoped to begin last week, but unfortunately we're on a little bit of a delay here. I'd like to blame it on a nor'easter like they might do out on the East Coast, but can't do that.
No.
It's a technical issue, and we're working with our vendor on the issue, and I hope that it's resolved soon and we can begin the full rollout.
Awesome.
So, in an ideal world, certainly within the next 30 or so days, we'll be fully out and about in our community with the cameras. But right now, there's still a group of 7 or 8 officers that you'll see with the body cameras on.
Good to know. I'm sure we'll get more updates from you as.
Yeah, if I may,
on.
Preston, I would just add. We actually, one of those pilot officers had their body camera rolling a few weeks ago when they responded to a vehicle that had gone off the roadway, and it ultimately was an overdose subject. And I gotta say that camera captured the life-saving efforts that officer, actually a total of 3 officers, had engaged in. And it was really amazing to see how calm, cool, and collected those officers were, and the lengths that they went to save this person's life. And the camera captured it.
Yeah.
We would have heard about it, obviously, from the officers and anybody present, but when you see it and hear it, from the video perspective, I mean, as you guys know, being in the video world, it's completely different.
It is,
and I think those cameras are really going to show a whole bunch of the good work that our people do each and every day.
That's fantastic. And we don't always hear that perspective, so nice to hear that that stuff's being captured as well out there. Hey, speaking of awesome kind of news coming from the department here, we have a recent promotion. Do you just want to give a shout out quick on that?
We have a couple of personnel things. Sergeant Ryan Michaels has been promoted to lieutenant. He will assume that role next week. He's been with our department, I believe, 14 or 15 years, and he's been a sergeant primarily on the 3rd shift for the last 10 or 11 years. So we welcome him into the command staff of our department. Basically, lieutenant and above is our command staff. And I also just want to mention that one of our officers who was hired midway last year, has completed field training. And that's Officer Lisa Heitman. She'll be heading out on her own to solo patrol here in another week. So
awesome.
It's good to have her out on patrol. And then we have a group of 6 officers who are still currently working their way through our field training program. So we hope to see them all begin to come out towards the Memorial Day timeframe.
Well, fantastic. Congratulations to all of them. And then to you, of course. I haven't gotten to formally congratulate you on your promotion to chief. So just real quick before you let you go here, how's it going? How's the transition? How is it taking on all the new responsibilities?
It's been very busy, to say the least. My calendar has been jam-packed with a lot of meetings, but it's been good. Seeking feedback from our staff internally on department operations and allowing that or using that to help shape priorities and initiatives. I'm in the process of getting some listening sessions set up for mid-April through Memorial Day. I'm going to do 3 listening sessions in different neighborhoods of Fitchburg, so stay tuned for the dates on those. I hope to have those finalized within the next couple of weeks, and then we can get them to you to throw out there for our community to see. And I think it's been, from my perspective, it's been a really smooth transition. We've got good people in the police department who have helped me through that transition. There's been good city government folks as well who have been helpful, and other law enforcement agencies and contacts. So from my perspective, things are going well, and we'll be shaping priorities and initiatives real soon. I've got a list of them, and there won't be enough time in the day or resources to accomplish all of them. So we'll obviously have to pick and choose the ones we can do.
Well, we think you're doing a great job over here. So really appreciate you coming on here. Glad the transition's going well. We'll get you back on the show next month for another update. Stick around. We're going to take a quickie break, and then we're going to come back and wrap up the show here on Talking Fitchburg.